Hey, thanks for stopping by Mystic Messages. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Hope everyone is doing amazing today. Keep in mind, these messages are timeless and will be received in divine timing for those who need to hear them. And they won't resonate with everyone. However, if they don't apply, let them fly. You can always come back for the next one, but I do encourage you to hang out because there might be a word in here that you might need to hear. That being said, I want to first apologize for being away again. As many of you might already be aware, I was very severely burnt a couple of days ago on my hand, and I'm still in the process of healing. I did say that I was going to try my best to come out here and still create content, even though it's been very difficult for me. Unfortunately, the burn took a lot more out of me than I realized. I was very exhausted and wasn't feeling well, so I'm still not feeling well, but yet I'm pushing myself through to deliver these messages that need to be delivered. And hopefully, those who need to hear them, receive them. And again, this is a trigger alert just to give you an update on the burn, just to show you where we're at and to show you what the powers of evil can possibly do from time to time, even to those who are on the correct path. So I'll give you a look at it so you can have an idea of what's going on. I know it's gross and I'm sorry, but this unfortunately happened to me the other day. And it was unfortunately black magic, and I'm aware of where it came from. And that's what today's message will reiterate. Okay, that's exactly what it's about today. Okay, basically, I kept hearing is that free will provides us with options. Okay, and it's up to us to choose wisely. Okay, so I don't know who this message is for, but whoever this is for, obviously you need to hear it. Okay, this is no judgment here. Again, this is not about religion. This is about spirituality. Uh, there are things out there that are beyond what we were told to believe. Okay, and you don't have to believe them. Okay, because these are just, like I said, I'm just a vessel, and you have an option to turn this off or to watch it, whatever your belief system might be. It's up to you. Uh, you know, there's no judgment. You could be religious. You can not. Doesn't mean because you're religious that you're a bad person. Doesn't mean that just because you're spiritual you're a good person. Okay, there's good and bad throughout everything, and that's basically what the message is about today. It's about making choices. Okay, it really is. It's about making choices. Those of us out there, unfortunately, okay, sometimes find ourselves in situations that we might not, you know, think we would find ourselves in. Okay. A lot of times we find ourselves in third party situations, love triangles, trying to get a particular job, a particular home. And through that process, we want these things so badly. Okay. But we have to remember if these things are not aligned for us, we're not going to receive them no matter what we try to do. Okay. This is where the message comes in. So many people opt for, ways out. They either seek out practitioners or they go online or they try to find books and they research things about doing spells and energy manipulation and everything to get their way. There's somebody out there that I'm speaking to right now that is in the process of you're in a relationship with someone. And again, this is not about judgment. This is just what it is, okay? And I don't condone people being in third party relationships or extramarital affairs, but again, it's not my job or position to judge anyone. Okay, that's not what I'm here to do. I'm just here to enlighten and provide the information that most of you already know. Okay, so whoever I'm speaking to right now, you know that you're in a third party situation. Okay, and you are so much wanting to be with this individual that you're willing to do anything. Okay, so you have been recently mulling over in your head, thinking that it's your own thoughts, and it's not. This is the negative influences out there that are trying to tell you to engage in some type of energy manipulation, love spell, whatever. Okay, again, this is your choice. You have free will. I wouldn't suggest it, and the universe is not suggesting it because even though the manipulation might have some type of effect, okay, first off, you don't know who you're, sending out this manipulation on, okay? You don't know what their situation is, what their beliefs are, how protected they are, what type of individual they are. Secondly, okay, if you happen to run into an individual, okay, especially one who is protected or ascending or who has, a pretty clean slate, okay, when that energy doesn't hit, when it doesn't land, okay, the way that you thought it would, so you can get that job, that promotion, that relationship, that whoever, when it doesn't hit, that energy has nowhere to go other than to return to the person who sent it, okay? And a lot of times things could be worse. You might be sending your energy out to a person who understands energy, okay, and knows where the energy is coming from, and they decide to return it back to you, which is also another story that we're not going to get into today, and I wouldn't suggest that either, because what I do suggest is leaving everything in the divine's hands, okay? Even though I am not religious, I do believe in the God Most High, and I also acknowledge the other deities and spirits and entities that are out there as well, because they do exist. God created everything in this universe, okay, including the other deities that are part of the other religions or other religious beliefs. Okay, God even created the devil. There's a reason for everything. Okay, when we decide to utilize these entities, okay, for our own purposes, okay, instead of going directly to God, instead of doing exactly what we need to be doing to get into alignment with the things that we want and accepting God's divine will, okay, when we choose to do otherwise, it never works out, okay? So if you think you're going to get somebody, a job, a person, anything through manipulation, and again, this is no judgment, you have free will to do what you like. Unfortunately, according to universal spiritual law, there are consequences, okay? Energy returns, okay? You really have to understand energy manipulation. This is not a joke. This is not Harry Potter. This is not Dungeons and Dragons. This is not Bewitched. This is the real fucking world. And I hate to sound so blunt about that, okay? Because we're in a real desperate situation here where there's a lot of energy manipulation going around, a lot of evilness that's being tossed around. Okay, and many of you might have noticed time is speeding up. Okay, the universe, God the Most High, is trying to show everyone, giving people signs through weather events, through wars that are going on, through all kinds of craziness and nonsense that's happening throughout the world, and no one is paying attention. This is all due to this negative energy manipulation that's being bounced all over the place. And this is not cool. Okay. This is what's dragging the vibration down. Okay. This is what's keeping us perpetually stuck. But we have a choice. We have free will. Okay. We can choose to not engage in that type of behavior and move forward and allow the universe, God, the Most High, whoever it is that you resonate, provide for us. Okay, because when we're able to do that, things will come. It doesn't mean they're going to happen overnight that you snap your fingers and it happens. It doesn't, because we have to align with the things that we're looking for. Okay, if we have to use energy manipulation of any kind, either to harm somebody or to get a person, under a love spell, or to get a job, or to get a promotion, or to get a home, anything that you're seeking, okay, you have to remember what you're putting this energy out towards, who it's going through, okay, or who it's going to, okay, who the intended target is, okay, and realize that at some point it's gonna return back to the sender, whether you like it or not. If you send out bad, remember bad's gonna come back to you tenfold. It's just the way it works, okay. Especially when there's individuals out there utilizing black magic, necromancy, involving other deities, okay, trying to control them, okay, they don't realize, okay, that there's a payment that's going to be due, okay, and they have just sold a piece of their soul to that entity, okay, and that entity will get its due, okay. When they're not allowed to achieve the objective when it comes to a certain target, they're going to come back to the individual who sent it, okay. So there's other individuals out there that I'm speaking to right now that are very much like myself. You've been doing everything. You've been trying to do everything on the up and up and do everything on the right, and you're getting tempted. Okay, there's voices coming in trying to tempt you, trying to pull you away. Okay, and that's why the warfare is getting worse, including for myself. Okay, I'm not exempt from this shit. Okay, it happens to me on a daily basis. It's been happening since birth. Okay, when you think of the freak accident that I had, okay, like I said, I was creating some candles because I like to make my own beeswax candles, okay, because they're better for the environment, and I use them for my spiritual practice during meditation, okay, and you also save money by making your own candles. So it's a great hobby to have. Unfortunately, in the process of making candles, I came over to the computer 1 second to check on something, and I had left the the pot melting on top of the burner with the wax in it. Now that's no big deal. I wasn't far away from it. I was paying attention. When I went back, there was a little bit of residual of wax at the bottom that was just liquid. Okay, I didn't think anything of it. So I took that hot wax liquid and I threw it into my what I had was it was just a cheap wicker uh, thing, that a basket that I used to use for waste paper. Okay, under my desk because it fit there. Okay, I threw the hot wax in there, and the next thing I knew, the fire caught with such a rage. And if you would have heard the anger in this flame, because I mean it erupted like a bomb. Okay, that's what gave me the first indication that it was spiritual. I had no choice because now this fire was rapidly burning what the contents of the basket itself, but the basket too. There was smoke all over the place, fire alarms going off. I had to now grab this basket with my hands, okay, because there was nothing I had to grab it with. There wasn't even any handles. I had to carry it down a flight of stairs to bring it into the bathroom on the tub to throw some, to put the shower on over it, okay. But as I was carrying this thing to show you more where this was spiritual attack and how this can happen, I almost tripped over my bed. I burnt my bedspread. Okay, things were trying to catch on fire all over. This attack wasn't intended to just harm me. It was intended to burn down my home. And this is something that certain individuals from just one individual from my past that brought all these other crazy individuals into my life, this cult, to create this type of a nonsense towards me for whatever reason. Okay, for the hatred that he has towards me, and that's cool. I really don't care. I don't know who the rest of these people are, to be honest with you, and they don't know me. But anyone who was involved in this, unfortunately, and I don't want to dwell too much on them because I don't want to give them any energy. That's not what this is about. I'm just trying to explain to everyone out there that these things do happen and what can happen when you involve yourself. Okay, and this includes people who assist those, okay, people who are dragged into this, okay. There's many people who are dragged into this situation unknowingly because they believe the sociopath who's leading them, okay, or the two sociopaths that's leading them, I should say. But that's another story. Again, I don't want to give them any energy, so I'm going to leave it at that. And this is the last time I'm going to speak about it. But Source wanted me to speak about this today. Okay, so I'm pushing myself. Okay, even though I don't feel well, so I can get this message out there because it was important for somebody to hear it. Okay, it's important because there's individuals out there that I'm speaking to right now who are contemplating, thinking that it's innocent, to use some type of energy manipulation to get their way. Okay. Again, you have free will to do what you want. The universe is suggesting that you don't do that because the consequences are not going to be good and it won't be long lasting because it's not, excuse me, it's not built on a foundation. Okay. A solid foundation, I should say. Okay. So again, this is for those who are getting these thoughts in their head to use energy manipulation. This is also for those who are part of individuals who part of cults and covens and whatnot, okay, that work together to create this type of energy manipulation. Everyone involved with this, and you can't say that you didn't know, you weren't aware, you're an adult, you had free will, and you made the wrong choice. You thought it was funny to hurt innocent individuals. Okay, it's not funny, it's not cool, and it's not God's way. And many of you who are doing this under the instruction guidelines of people who claim to be religious and of Christ consciousness, which they're not. That's a ruse, okay? Which many religious organizations, unfortunately, they use. They use God's name, okay, to manipulate others, okay? That's why I never try to manipulate anyone on this channel. That's not what it's about. Here's a guide to provide information for those who are seeking. Okay, I'm not here to control. I'm not looking for a cult-like status. I'm not looking to create a cult. Okay, that's not what it's about for me. Okay, I never wanted to be famous in any way. This is not something that I ever saw myself doing, but yet it was a calling that I had, and I'm going to continue to do so regardless. And this is why I'm pushing myself today, okay, to bring this final message about the situation of energy manipulation, okay, because there's some of you out there, unfortunately, who are on the brink of making the wrong decision because you feel like things are not going the way that you want them to go in your life, okay, so you're going to try to intervene. Again, you have free will, but my advice to you and the advice from the universe would be not to engage, okay. So we're going to leave it at that today. I'm not going to have much of a typed addendum again, unfortunately, for obvious reasons. My hands are hurting me. I have reviews that I got to catch up on Amazon, which I haven't been able to do for the same reason and because of the exhaustion that's caused by these burns that I'm dealing with. Okay, but I am glad that I was able to get this message out there today. So I hope this reaches the person it needs to reach to, or the individuals who need to hear it. And we'll see you again soon. Take care.